The man carefully pushed open the door. He looked at his roommate on the bed. He was about to sleep with his clothes on, but suddenly fleas crawled all over his body. It was unbearably itchy, so he quickly got out of bed to take off his clothes. As a result, he woke up his roommate.
You're a woman.
His identity was exposed. The woman curled up in the corner. She begged him not to report her. This was a secret she had hidden for over 20 years. Albert was a hotel waiter. Because of his careful and thoughtful work, he earned his boss's appreciation. Although the income wasn't high, customers were always willing to give her extra tips. So after years of saving, Albert had saved quite a bit of money. She had long had her eye on a storefront. Once she saved enough money, she would open a tobacco shop and spend the rest of her life peacefully. Just when her wish was about to come true, an accident happened. That day, a new painter named Peggy arrived at the hotel. The manager arranged for him to share a room with Albert. Albert, who couldn't refuse, had to go back to the room. But unexpectedly, the other person saw through her true identity. Although Peggy was a bit surprised, she still promised not to tell. But Albert wasn't reassured. The next day, she made up various excuses to find Peggy, afraid that he would leak the news. Peggy simply closed the door and unbuttoned her shirt. It turned out Peggy was also a woman. Now Albert felt relieved. Peggy told her, when she was young she had married a painter, but her husband was an alcoholic and would beat her when drunk. So she left with the painter's equipment and had been living as a man ever since. Now she lived with a tailor named Catherine. Previously, Albert had accepted that she would die alone. But since meeting Peggy, Albert discovered that life seemed to have new possibilities. Watching the couples at the dance, she began to imagine that she could also find a partner and run a small shop together. A few days later, she visited Peggy under the excuse of returning a button. It was Peggy's partner Catherine who opened the door. Looking at their cozy little home, Albert felt envious.